Hello, friends. Good morning, good evening. Welcome to Token Summit DAO. This is now our fourth working group, and we're getting a lot done, as we always do, in a very short period of time, because February 22nd to kick off DAO Day is right around the corner, and we actually are having an NFT and metaverse on February 21st for our 3-day conference. And February 21st, today is Sunday, January 23rd. Monday, I was looking at the calendar the other day, and it'll be 4 weeks from tomorrow. So February 21st is right around the corner. But we don't want to spend all day talking about how quickly that this event is going to come. We're here to get things done, and we do that on our working groups. And real quick, I wanted to made a couple slight changes to the tokenomics, and I'm going to go over here. This is our Notion page. This is the tool where we're getting all the things done here for Triple Win Foundation. Token Summit DAO is a project under the Triple Win DAO, 3-Win DAO, Triple Win Foundation. And looking here, we're going to start off talking about the tokenomics, because this is one of the things that we need to get finalized, because we're going to be having our Genesis proposal. Talked about that on the working group. Don't really want to talk about that here too much today, but the tokenomics. And I've actually got because I made a slight change, and real quick here, and I need to actually update it on this. I haven't even updated it on the Notion page, because I was making these changes in a Google Doc, because it's easier to get some nice, pretty formatting done. So one of the things that was talking a little bit about, and before we went live here, was this speakers component. And the speakers, out of all the sections here, and we've got the season 1 tokenomics broken down into 4 pies of 25%. So pretty simple, and I don't have a pie chart on here representing that. That's something that I'll get cleaned up and over onto Notion. This is more the details of breaking down the 25% in each section. And already talked a little bit about the sponsorships. Feel really good about that. The speakers, this is the area that will probably have some conversation as we bring more speakers into the fold. And one of the ideas that I had for doing something a little different, and I don't know how that this will be received. I don't know if it's something that the community will find value in. I know that I will personally find value in the conversations with our speakers. And the idea here is to have a real quick being a 15-minute segment, where in like 5 of that will just be kind of a prep, and then a 10-minute using the live streaming format that has really I really enjoy doing, and I believe the other people hanging out with me here today enjoy doing too. And I'm gonna take a pause real quick and go through. We've got 6 people on the live stream, including myself, my superpower, Mrs. Yonks, Blur's Day, Amy, D-Sign, and Dax. Thank you all for hanging out here today. And more importantly, not just hanging out, we're moving forward with finalizing some of our details so that we can start filling in the Token Summit with the sponsors, the speakers, and then also start inviting people to become ticket holders for this event. So going back to the Meet the Speakers idea, it's a very short segment, again, 15 minutes, and about 5 or 10 minutes of that will actually be going through probably a pretty canned questions, as far as just, again, getting to know the speakers that will be talking at the conference. I had to take a pause there. I just saw some Zoom chat. I'm not going to go off onto that right now, but so again, more conversations with the speakers will unfold while we finalize on what the tokenomics for divvying up this pool for the speakers will be. And then one of the other slight changes that I made with the team allocation, also 25% of the pie, is I added the bounty board. I actually put in some solid numbers, and I don't know if it's fortuitous, but I was speculating that we would probably have 6 people on today's working group, and this is fabulous because we did have 6 people on there, so this number is actually accurate. So I made a slight adjustment. I think I had 800,000 on the coordinate. This is for the next 5 weeks of the working towards the event. And then that allowed some allocation for a bounty board. And one of the things with this being our first virtual summit, we'll have a lot better idea if this will be adequate where we can make the adjustments going into season 2. And then one of the things on the ticket holders made some slight adjustments here just to please my inner math geek on the ticket prices. And this is one of the things where I'm not exactly sure what that'll look like because this is in US dollar, and there's a high degree of probability that we may be using some other type of coin, cryptocurrency, like Matic, for example, the Polygon layer 2 chain. We do a lot of our stuff on Matic because the cost transaction fees are substantially less there. So that'll become more apparent when we get all of that set up as far as the finalization. But I feel really good with where we're at here on the tokenomics, calling this a version 1.0 for season 1. And I just wanted to pause here and let everybody else that's on the call chime in with some thoughts on these slight tokenomics adjustments that made.
Do we want to make the cost of the really basic NFT 22 Matic?
If it was 22 Matic, that would be like double the price because
the original price was $27, and then Blair's pointed out Matic's down like one Matic down to $1.50. So 22 Matic would be something like what, 30, $35, something like that.
Yeah, that just depends on number go up and number go down. I mean, I'm open for, whatever. I was actually thinking even something like 10 Matic, but with the number being down like what it is, maybe 22 Matic would be reasonable.
Hey, that actually was all part of our agenda. Jason, could you pull up the notion on the working group? I wanted to go through, and the main purpose of this meeting, and Deeson, I'm glad you're able to make it, was for us to make sure that you have everything that you need from us and that I'm not missing any technical stuff on the back end of what you need to make stuff work. So it sounds like Hopin can process registrations for us. That will save us the problem of getting Stripe or some alternative solution set up. Obviously, they can't process in crypto. We'd have to do that ourselves, but that doesn't require a payment processor. Do we want to just link this thing to Hopin and have people register online and only take their registrations if they're paying in crypto? Is that going to be complicated?
I personally think that it would be easier to just, and I don't know what the process would be, setting up Stripe ourselves so that we can use the credit card facility and unlock. But the more complicated that we make using multiple payment processors, I think will make it more difficult for keeping everything together. So that's kind of my thoughts, but I'd love to hear feedback from Deeson.
So Hopin, the Hopin thing, like, is there a link or something that they click on to register via Hopin?
Yeah, they're basically a I think, for lack of a better thing, just a landing or registration page. It would be something like Eventbrite, where it's pretty basic. You just go in, and they do require email. So for us people that want to be completely anonymous and not give out their email, Hopin requires it, so they have to. So email, and then if they're using credit cards, you'd obviously need everything to process the credit cards. If they're paying with crypto, the Hopin's not set up to accept a crypto registration. So we just need to make sure that we're getting all the information that Hopin needs. Email for sure, and I don't know what other fields are.
Okay. Excuse me.
Tyler, your dial-up is broken.
Yeah.
Is that
Robot Tyler?
Bluetooth? That's on my internet, or maybe it's both. I don't know. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. So baby's in the background. She might be saying hello here. The big thing is Hopin has basically a landing page for registration. And if people are paying with credit cards through Hopin, then Hopin would require all of the information there. And then we wouldn't have to worry about security or anything else. If we're doing the crypto, they're not set up for crypto. All we'd have to make sure we get is basically their email address to give them a login for Hopin, and maybe a name. It could be like a fake name or a Discord name or whatever, but I think they just need, I think that's all they require. I need to double check that. I just want to make sure we're good with having 2 separate logins. Otherwise, we'd have to set up the credit card processing ourselves.
Well, I mean, the goal here is to have an NFT ticketed event, and the value proposition is, one of the big value propositions is providing the replay rights. And the only way that we're going to be able to facilitate that is with the token, so that we can do the token gating. In my opinion, I don't know. So are you wanting to look at like because I wasn't prepared to talk about like looking at Hopin for using Hopin registration, because that changes the whole dynamic as far as trying to set up the functionality in WordPress.
Well, we can set it up however we want. I just want to make sure that, have we decided that we're going to make people pay for this event in crypto and not take fiat? Because if that's the,
we have the capability of using Stripe with unlocked protocol for event registration.
Oh, okay. I didn't realize that. And it's already set up, so we don't have to do anything. We just install it and then that's it.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say that we wouldn't have to do anything. I mean, but as far as like, because right now we're really leaning towards using unlocked protocol to facilitate the NFT aspect.
Okay, perfect. Okay, great. Let's deal with that offline. I didn't realize that I'm not gonna take credit cards. So that was my mistake. Okay, so the main purpose of this meeting was, and Deeson, I don't know what your schedule looks like. I would love to get this website functional and ready to go. I mean, today, tomorrow, as fast as you can, so I can start selling it. So I put down a list of stuff that we needed to talk about, and I want to make sure you have everything you need and to see what you don't have that we need to get to you.
Well, I was looking at the agenda here. Finalize sponsor levels. So what do we need to get determined as far as the finalizing of the sponsor levels?
Well, I had added in some what do you get for each level, and Deeson had given me some feedback. He thought one of the levels was a little rich, so I made another, like a 4th level. So we just need to just finalize what we are, and we can either scrap the 4th level or whatever, but I just want to make sure that whatever the levels are, that we get those finalized in a table on the website, and then so I can start selling them.
So are you talking about sponsor levels?
Sponsor levels, yeah, that was the first thing.
And where's that at here in our Notion?
It is on the, let me go back to Notion for a second. It's in that one where you did the drop downs. It said 22, 44, 88. It's in that page. Yeah, that.
And where's the sponsor tiers?
these, oh, sorry, this was the first thing, was the participant level, the sponsor tiers. We need to decide what we're doing. Those were kind of two mangled thoughts in the agenda. This is the first thing I want to finalize was, is everybody good with this? Do we feel like these levels are fair and the pricing's fair and what people are getting? And then we'll do the sponsors after this.
I think it looks good.
I don't know how we will deliver exclusive POAPs.
Well, it was more of a, I don't know, from a POAP standpoint, I know that the keywords all get farmed. So I don't know if there's DGenBot or some other way to say these wallets get POAPs. And that was partially an upsell of saying if people want 24 POAPs for 24 different speakers. I don't know if we're going to make that many or if we're just going to do one for being there or one per day or whatever. But I thought it's something that people really like. I think it adds some value, some branding. I don't want to get farmed. I want to make sure that if we end up doing something manual, that we're not trying to do manual drops for 5,000 people, that we have an automated solution and that it's just a value add for an upsell.
Yeah, I think I can speak to it a little bit. I think we can the POAP the group they came up with a different dissemination mechanism. As long as we have the ETH address, we should be able to like push the POAP to their wallet. But without anybody's from us or without anybody else doing anything manually, as long as we capture their wallet address, we should be able to do that. We can do that. So yeah.
So I just feel like so the exclusive thing is more of it's not just being there, it's an up tier thing, because I just feel like this event's going to be so much value. And if people are only paying 20 or 30 bucks or Matic or whatever, I just feel like they're going to be getting so much more than they paid for, that I want the upper tiers to get additional value on that.
Well, I think my concern is like, and I don't know if you wanted to, and when you're talking an exclusive POAP, I don't know if because I would like to see the people get a POAP for any of the event. If it's a POAP session, have all of the participants get a POAP. And I don't know if you wanted to potentially have a fancier POAP for the people, but I mean, that might come with like additional costs. And this fulfilling it is just my concern as far as the POAP delivery or the distribution is not as much of the concern. It's the design of the exclusive POAPs. And I think the whole purpose of POAP is that like, because I would really like to see if we're going to do a POAP for that particular session, that whoever participates in that session, regardless of their event pass tier, that's my thoughts though. Because I think that there's value knowing who participates in a particular event from a POAP standpoint.
Unless,
okay. I mean, go ahead, Dex.
Sorry, I was going to say that unless you are meaning to say that they will get some sort of exclusive NFT, right? Is that, I don't know, maybe that's what you're thinking. I'm just trying to help you out. Yeah.
Well,
yeah,
and on that Dax, every one of these tiers is going to be an NFT situation, because each one of the, like the $22 ticket is going to be an an ERC 721 NFT. So every ticket itself is already going to be a collectible NFT, and the opportunity of having fancier NFTs, you know, for the higher tier that are more visually appealing. Go ahead, Tyler.
I just want to say, if you're getting the live event pass, you're getting the event. That's what you're getting. Like, I feel like we're trying to drive so much value down to the lower tiers, and there's not really much reason to buy the higher tiers to start getting some of this stuff. So people want POAPs, they need to buy the upsell. People want longer replay. I mean, I just want to make sure that we're providing significantly enough different value.
But that's against in my opinion, against the ethos of POAP. Now, if you want to provide like a fancier POAP or something, and that's where my concern of delivering, because like designing.
All right, let's just skip this and I want to keep going. I don't want to spend the whole meeting on this.
So this was kind of a tangent anyway, though, on the sponsor tiers. Do we have those categorized?
No, that was one of the things I wanted to talk about, was what we need to do on that. Let's come back to that at the end. Let's keep going through the rest of the stuff on the website. We'll come back to the sponsors at the end.
All right. So going back to go ahead, Dex.
Yeah, I'd like to just inject one thing, something that we might want to think about. For example, you know, I'm seeing this various, ticker levels or tiers, 2288, 222, 44, 444, 888. I think that the question might arise from the audience or whomever is participating. Hey, I subscribe to 88, right? I bought a ticket for 88. I am, I'm into 5 months now. Would I be able to upgrade to the next level, either year or lifetime access? Is that possible?
Yes. Yeah, we can have some upgrade your membership option on the website, and we would, it may be manual, but we would either have to swap out your NFT for the other one to give you the replay, or something. But yeah, you could upgrade later.
I would actually suggest that we don't complicate this dynamic, because we also need to keep in mind this is something that we're planning on running on a 3-time-a-year basis. So the opportunity, if somebody didn't get this tier, and the opportunity, because I mean, like, the big value proposition of what we're doing here now is to lay a solid foundation to make it easier to execute our future seasons, our future virtual summits. So I think just simplifying the dynamic and say, if you didn't get this, then you'll just have to wait to the next one. And, the opportunity, and like this one here, fulfilling this, like it'll be exciting to have people see what type of how much that people do this, because that's one of the things that Tyler and I are both very passionate about. And so anyway, I would actually advocate that we don't include the opportunity, like, once the event goes live, if you don't have the ticket or whatever the time frame is that we decide on, as far as, okay, here's the date, if you don't have your whatever ticket that you want for that value ladder, that you'll just have to wait until the next one. And again, I'm open to hear some thoughts on that. Go ahead, Design.
So yeah, I think it is a good idea, and I would like to do it more just for like the value proposition that it gives to our community. Like, I just like giving them that utility if it's something that we can do. But I think that, I don't know, I think we should work on that like in the background and not tell people that it's like a functionality that we're going to offer in the future. And I think it would just be like a nice to have at some point in the future, like one day when like we're working on the exchange functionality in the background, and then we finish it and we just tell them like, hey, if you lost access and you wanted to exchange your old NFT for an upgraded one, you can do that here. My main worry is just like from a software development point of view, I think it'd be really difficult to make an exchange smart contract that is flexible enough to deal with like potentially changing tiers and like different benefits and stuff like that.
Okay, then let's just make it easy and just say you get what you get. And if you, that's it. I mean, if we get one off, some people say, hey, I wanted to buy something higher, then we can just deal with that one off.
Yeah, and I mean, the nice thing about like, especially the solution that we're looking at predominantly right now, Unlocked Protocol, like we just recently went through the process of upgrading the smart contract with Tokentown, Colorado. So the opportunity of, you know, potentially adding forward benefits to this, I think can exist. But like when we're also looking at like having this on a recurring basis, like what we are, the opportunity of potentially just improving the next one. And at the end of the day, like one of the other things that we need to look at too is right now, we don't necessarily have what I would say is a solid solution for how that we're going to do the replay access and the token gating. Like when I say a solution like storage of these videos for the replay, like that's one of the things that I think that we don't necessarily need to have some conversation here today, but be thoughtful as far as researching, because I know that there's only going to be an increasing amount of solutions for where to store this. And like, hey guys, that's one of
can we keep going? We got a lot more to cover and we don't have a ton of time. We're already 45 minutes in.
Well, this is an important thing on delivering here, Tyler. So, I mean, like, we need to be able to make good on our commitment as far as providing the replay access. And I don't, do you have a solution where we can skip this? Because I don't have a solution right now.
I have an idea of a solution, but my plan for it was to either upload it in Arweave and then store the hash somewhere on the blockchain and make it so that only the NFT has the access to that hash. I don't know if like the other thing I was thinking about is putting all of the, let's say like I don't know, Bankless DAO is one of our partners, and they have a bunch of different videos that they are like a bunch of different conferences and workshops that they host during our conference. They could upload those on Vimeo or YouTube, and then we could put like keep those as private links. They're unlisted, and then put those on their Discord server, which is locked by the NFT, so that you have to have the role provided by Collabland for the for access to the rewinds.
Yeah, and a solution that's pretty popular in Web 2 for providing replay access is Wistia. But let's take that offline as far as and we can have some conversation in Discord as far as the solution and have a better understanding as far as what Hopin provides, since we're right now Hopin is the front runner on the conference platform. So getting back to our agenda here today, and on the sponsors real quick, do we want to just create a section here to put, since we're using this, to just itemize the sponsor tiers?
Yeah.
Do we want to do a tier at $2,222 and then $444 or $44.44 and $88.88? Or is that too expensive for sponsors?
Well, I think for sponsors, I think for just to kind of keep it clean, we were talking about 2,500, 5,000, and 10,000. We can. It's
I'm okay with keeping the numbers just at a nice round 10, 10, 5 and 2,500. And then like, if we want to have a little bit of leeway, like we were talking about Retoken being the first silver sponsor with the 2222, like 2,222 with Deuces Galore run out on the Matic for the proposal that we put forward. So the opportunity of having a little bit of like flexibility on that and having fun with some of the I think that that's something that we can do, but I'm okay with just keeping it like a round number right now. And I don't know how that we'll be receiving the proceeds either on this. This is like one of the challenges with being crypto native, that it might limit like some of our sponsorships, but realistically, I think we're going to be primarily working with people that should be able to fulfill the payments via some type of cryptocurrency.
I'm good with whatever price, really. I just like the I'm biased towards the idea of like a number-based gimmick.
Well, I mean, we could. I think, you know, if everybody else likes it, I mean, we could easily change it too.
No, we can do the 2,500, 5,000, 10,000. I don't really care.
It's the next slot down, Jason.
What's that?
You typed it in the value box instead of the 10,000 bucks.
Well, are we gonna change it? We're gonna keep it. Let's see what it does for the. I don't even know if I've got this. See, I don't even have. This was something that I added in some additional fields later. So, what does everybody else think? Should we do the gimmicky math numbers?
If it doesn't really impact any, I don't know the economics of this whole thing. So if this takes away too much from the bottom line, then no. Otherwise, it is kind of neat, I guess.
Well, we'll see what it takes away here, because we were at our even round 3K.
It's going to take her about $36,000 out at the same sponsorship levels.
I'm sorry, what was that? How much?
That's a pretty big cost for a gimmick, I feel like.
Well, it's I think if you guys saw on the screen, each level was around 100,000, and then at 11,000, 33,000. It would take about $11,000 out of each level.
Yeah, the 30-ish.
Again, that's assuming that we sell these all out. It's not. I mean, we part of the reason why, Decent, I'm really grateful that you worked as fast as you have on this. We need to, when I'm talking to potential sponsors, their first question is, yeah, I'm potentially interested, send me something. And I think a really great website would be the first thing I want to send them.
Yeah, I think we can stand that up today.
All right, cool. And then I don't know if this is the right time to ask this question. Decent, I had gotten into the back end and cleaned up a little bit of the language and some other stuff, and it's still there, but I don't know if I didn't save it right or whatever. I just want to make sure that you had that. And I know some of the stuff was stock, but I just want to make sure that we are actually going to have all the content that's on the website. I think you'd put in something about workshops and some other stuff. I just want to make sure that are we doing workshops? Like, is this all going to be just kind of panel discussions and interviews and maybe some keynotes?
My plan was to have all that stuff, but my plan with putting that on the website just for now is that I wanted to put that on there so that people visiting the website would be like, oh, that is something I can give. Like, I can do a workshop with this conference, you know?
Okay. Okay.
Is that something we have a capability for with Hopin?
We do. The big concern is I actually think the only limitation that we potentially have is manpower on the back end. So, for example, if we have I was planning on doing 8 1-hour blocks of content each day for 8 hours a day. And then if we had, let's say we have 16 hours of DAO content, we want to present them all on DAO day, we could pre-record stuff and present multiple sessions at the same time. And then people could say, oh, I'd rather listen to session A. And then the next time I'm going to listen to session B of another topic. So people kind of pick what they want and have a customizable experience. But if it's workshops, then that's going to be a lot more manual because those have to be live because then people are going to be asking questions and stuff.
Yeah, we
It's a
can
workshop where nobody can ask questions or pre-record.
for workshops. I was thinking that that would be the value in adding like a Discord sponsorship level, because you know we could make it so that my plan with the workshop was like we will allow you to host a workshop on our Discord server, but you're gonna have to figure out how to do it. I know that's like, now that I'm saying that out loud, you know, that could be a little problematic because it's like if one of our partners or sponsors messes up their workshop, then that still reflects poorly on us. But yeah, what do you guys think?
Well, have you been part of a Discord workshop like that? Are you pulling that from some other experience or is that just an idea? If you've seen it work, then I'm absolutely open to it. I'm just trying to think through if we end up doing some of these interviews live and even if Jason and I split up and I do some of the interviews and he does some of the interviews, and are any of you guys planning on being on stage during this thing?
Yeah, I was planning on I was planning
Okay.
on being around for whatever we needed.
Okay, awesome. So any of the rest of you planning on being live and available for this thing?
This is happening at the same time as the Breckenridge retreat, so I'm not really sure how that's going to work out.
Well, that was part of the challenge that we thought about was there's a possibility that we're either going to need to do this from Breckenridge or we might not be able to go, but we still got our house up there. So, I mean, we'll figure something out. But yeah, that's part of why I wanted to have as much content tiered up, ready to go at the same time.
Yeah, you know, I forgot about that. Just I don't think I'm gonna be able to make it to ETH Denver this year, so I wasn't even considering that, honestly. You know, yeah, let's go ahead and take the workshops out of the equation for now and just plan on making as much of this as possible, like front loaded, pre-recorded content that we have ready to go on a schedule.
We could
And
we could do like more of like a demonstration that was saying a walkthrough. I know a lot of this stuff, like, I mean, I don't know if Unlock would be interested in this, but having somebody say, hey, are you interested in Unlock? Here's a whole walkthrough with screen sharing and that could still be pre-recorded.
yeah,
But
Well, here's a thought too. Like one of the opportunities that we need to incorporate is getting more feedback from our audience. Like, you know, whether that's like through the process and, you know, like incorporating some feedback mechanism, like after they acquire a ticket and like, because we've got some very loose agenda right now, but like the opportunity for us to engage the audience into helping us build the summit that they would like to participate in. And this is just me thinking out loud here, because this is one of the things that like on the only hop in that I've personally attended, Gary Vee was one of the speakers. And that was one of the big takeaways that I had from Gary Vee was get a lot better at getting feedback and input from your audience throughout the entire process. So that this is something that I think that we should incorporate into our own workflow so that we can actually obtain, like whether it's a Notion form or a Google form or type form, provide the opportunity to really bring people in and invite them to help us build this conference, because that's really, I think, the unique value proposition of this being a DAO that's a community owned and operated event. And then again, letting them help us build this and invite them into that process.
yeah, we could even offer some of our token as incentive.
Well, we absolutely are. I mean, when you look at the tokenomics, I mean, like, the whole dynamic here is, because I think a lot of the times we're just looking through a very narrow lens, because the opportunity for the team that we've got right now, 7 people, and by being intentional about creating and inviting an open and inclusive DAO where people can and should help us. Because like when you look at like 770,000 tokens, and like we've got an equal pool on speakers, and like just again building a framework here where we can invite people in throughout this process and like really allow them to have a voice and help us build a conference that, because that's at the end of the day, if there was a conference that was available that met the needs that I would like to see, I would say like, hey, let's not reinvent the wheel here, because everybody's heard me say, hey, let's not reinvent the wheel here. So let's invent a conference that we all want to be a part of. Because if there was one right now that was accessible, and we're talking about having a conference here where people, less than 20 or 50 bucks or whatever the case may be, and have an absolutely fabulous event. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking. That's kind of some thoughts that I have as far as really inviting our ticket holders to not only just hold a ticket, but join us in the process of building this conference. So going back to the agenda here. So finalize the affiliate programs. This is something I think also getting some clarification, because one of the things going back to the sponsor tiers, and let me see. So like one of the things that I thought would be fabulous to have, and let's look at the actual tokenomics over here real quick. And I'm going to actually open up a new, oh, I didn't want a new page. I'll bring it up over here. So looking at the tokenomics, one of the things that was talking about in the 80-20 breakdown is the 80-20 profit sharing with team from sponsorships. And one of the things that I thought would be fabulous is whomever on the team is the person that really delivers that sponsorship situation, I would like to create some type of additional incentive for that teammate on delivering that sponsorship. So I'd love to hear some thoughts, and I don't know if we want to just like say 10%. That's kind of a number that I was thinking about. So like this 80%, like 10% of the pie would go to the specific individual that delivered that sponsorship win, and then the rest of that would go to the team. But I would really like to get some clarity, because one of the things that I'm acutely aware of when it comes to money, if we're not all aligned, that's the biggest opportunity for confusion and frustration to occur.
Personally, I don't know what is best, but I mean, if everyone's in agreement, then we can't complain later, so.
Yeah, I like that you're bringing
agree.
it up now for that reason.
Well, it has to be done, because when it comes to money, like that's the first thing that will piss people off is they had one expectation and then we told them something that was misaligned, and that, misdealings with money, not a good place to be.
Yeah,
Can
I
I
think
chime
10%
in?
is good.
This is
Yes,
Amy.
Amy, we love hearing from you. Please do.
Okay, I want you to imagine this. And I don't know if you have a calculator with you. What's 80% of 888?
At $888.
I mean, the 80%.
So like we've got the spreadsheet here. We can, make this over here. So here's the 10%.
I'm walking you through what you are proposing in the mind of somebody signing up. Okay, so tell me what is 80% of 600, of 888.
So 80%, and then equals sum of times 7,000.
Okay, if the person that recruited that person, the team or the DAO gets the 7,111, because I want you to think about the operational aspect of this. How would you think if I was the one who paid? No, it's 80% of 888, not the 7,000. It's probably 711.
Well, I mean, like if we're talking just a simple 10%, then like
No,
the
I'm
10%.
talking about in our 20% rule, 80% goes to the affiliate, right?
Well, no, 80% would go to the Token Summit DAO team. So like that would be us.
Am I misunderstanding it?
Yes.
I thought it goes to.
No, it's basically like a small but a reasonable commission structure, for lack of a better word. So 80% would go into the team treasury. And so basically we're going to do a coordinate. So the retoken accounting got really burdensome. So we just decided, all of you guys who were here in the beginning, we're going to drop some TSD tokens, just a flat amount. I think it's 10,000 TSD tokens to everybody that was part of this Genesis team. And then after that, we're going to do stuff through Coordinate of how we break up the 80%, kind of who's doing the most for the team. And then the person that actually brings in the sponsor is going to get some kind of a share or commission or something like that.
I totally misunderstood that. I thought the 80% goes to the affiliate partner. And so in my mind, I was ranking, that's a lot of money to give back to them.
No, so that, Amy, is on the ticket sales. So down here, we are talking about 80% for the ticket sales, but the sponsorships.
No, I'm talking about the ticket sales this time. So I was right. On the ticket sales, if I buy the 888 level, 711 goes back to the partner.
Yeah, so if you bought it through, let's say you bought it through Wall Street Bulls or Bankless or whatever, then just make the math super easy. If you bought $1,000 ticket, then Bankless would get back $800 of that, and that's the big incentive.
Now, how would you think the person who bought the ticket feel?
Well, they should feel really good because it's going to the community that they're involved in.
Yeah, I guess if you have that much money, you wouldn't mind. But I was just thinking, what if somebody complained? I don't know.
Well, I think
because with the value that we're giving at 888, okay, and 711 of that goes away, can we function at the amount of money that was left to provide the services that you say is going to be on that level?
Well, that was a big question mark, and that's why we thought 80% might be too rich. Maybe we should go 50%.
I think it's too rich. I think it's too rich because you're still going to pay. You have a coaching call there. You have somebody who will walk them through something. You have to kind of incentivize those people to take that job, to do that job with them. Now, if you don't have the money to do that, we will be broke before we even go to the second.
I agree with you, Amy. I think that
I'm a businesswoman. In a business aspect, I think that is too rich.
Well, I'm not the one that created the coaching component here, because that's one of my concerns as far as being able to deliver. So like now.
Well, this was two things. Number one, I don't think that we're going to be selling out as far as the coaching, I put that in there because I'd be happy to do that because I spend so much time doing that with people anyway. I figured if you want to give this community that much money, sure, I'll spend a couple hours on the phone with you to build this community out. And hopefully, if you build it out the way that I'm telling you to build it out, you'll have a really strong community. You'll come back and be a partner with us in future events because we delivered value and it's an investment in a future partnership. I don't think we're going to sell that many top tickets. And Amy, I think you're right. I think 50% is rich enough. I don't want to give away 80, but that
let me tell you this. If I haven't seen an affiliate that provides that much percent. Mostly it's like 30-40%, because it will make it look like we're not providing the value that we're supposed to, because value means we have to do something, and to do something you have to have expenses. And if you're giving away that much to them, it means, hey, if they can do this program at 200 something, why am I being charged 888? That's what I'm trying to tell you.
So that's part of the dynamic here, though, of like being transparent here, because I think that the opportunity to be more generous and understanding that goes back.
80% is too generous. I mean, we have overhead.
But that's the thing. Like when you look at the overhead, my expectation, and like when you take down, like just at the numbers that we're talking about, 20% of this 350,000, this is assuming, of course, that, but this gives us a frame point to operate on. So like that would be just 10% of this 350,000. And when you look at the 80-20, 10% goes into the Token Summit DAO treasury. So just that 10% here would be 35,000 for the Token Summit DAO treasury. Now, when we're looking at the cost to deliver this, I understand that there's costs, but it's like when you're looking at this being one event over, and we're going to have a cookie cutter pretty much type of an event. And then when you go up here to the sponsorships here, like another 10% just to the treasury is another 26,000. So these two, when you add that up, that's almost 60 grand, just the 10% going into the treasury. Now, let me ask
go ahead, Amy. Is this a minimum amount that we can, because we have less than 4 weeks, 6 weeks, I don't know, to get this done. The thought of being able to fill all the slots that we wanted to be filled it's not, may not be achievable. I hope it is. But the thing is, you have to put that in mind. What is the minimum amount that we can function and not take a loss? Because we may not have 10 sponsors. We may not have 5 sponsors. I don't know. We are not out there yet. And we are 4 or 6 weeks towards this conference. We might do better on the second one.
It's 4. Yeah. Okay, how about this? Why don't we just take a temp check vote on this, and then we'll just finalize it after that. Is that fair?
Because if we're not at least breaking even or making a profit, it's not a viable business, and people may get frustrated.
Well, and my expectation is that the costs scale with the success that we have. So like,
okay, guys, can we just, we're kind of going back and forth on this. Can we just take a vote in Discord and then just pick that and keep going?
So Jay-Z's got a question here. I think we need to clarify on 80% treasury.
So, so there's 2 things, Jay-Z. There's 2 different categories. The sponsors are people who I mean, if you've been to any conference before and it says presented by 123 company and 234 company and 345 company, whatever, those the sponsorships are going to go 80% to our treasury. The partners.
No, hold on. It's not 80% to the treasury. Like when we're talking about the profit for the team from sponsorships, 80% will go to the team, and then 10% to the Token Summit DAO treasury, and then 10% to the Triple Win DAO treasury.
Oh, okay, sorry. So all right, so he's good on that. All right, cool. So as far as the I thought he meant where it's going to be distributed out of, not who gets to keep it. Okay, so you guys, that's how we're going to pay this team, is the 80% of the sponsorships and 20% or 50% or whatever we end up deciding from the affiliates is going to be the what also goes in. So that's how you guys are going to get paid. We're keeping part of it for Triple Win and part of it for the treasury for future events. Kind of the corporate house is going to keep and then the team is going to split the rest. So I know Blair's had to go in 15 minutes.
It may be more helpful, instead of just talking about hypothetical numbers as far as the cost of delivering this, if we actually had an OpEx budget, because like right now we're talking about hypotheticals on selling sponsorships and ticket sales, but we're not having any frame of reference as far as a potential operating budget for, because there's some fear. And one of my favorite acronyms for fear is false evidence appearing real. And like we have some ideas in our head that I don't think, as far as I'm aware, that have been put into a similar spreadsheet dynamic, because this is just like, this here is basically the tokenomics budget with some actual numbers in there, because I thought that it would be easier to correlate that, but this doesn't include any operating costs. So I think it would be more beneficial, instead of like just taking and doing a vote, if we had a better understanding as far as the breakdown of the costs to execute our token summit.
Well, the most important thing is that we get the website working so we can actually start selling this stuff.
I understand that, but we're at an impasse right now, because there's some belief that we're not going to be able to run a profitable conference doing this 80-20 split, if I'm hearing things. So like, this is an important component of getting before, like, I understand and absolutely hear what you're saying. We need that in place, but we also need to make sure that when we're talking about with partnering with the community, that we're in alignment, that we're either going to do some number. If it's not going to be 80-20, we need to get that finalized before we can have a conversation. And then also like getting some alignment on, because like one of the things, and we kind of went off on a tangent a little bit, is like this profit sharing with team sponsorships. Like one of the things that I was advocating here, like we're talking about 80%, and then I was suggesting that like 10% go to the teammate that actually is the main point of contact that delivers that opportunity, that sponsorship opportunity for the DAO. So like on this gold tier, 10% of that would be $888. Anybody have any thoughts on that? I mean, I thought that that was a fair amount. I'm gonna take the silence as good from everybody there. So going back to the agenda here, did we need to talk anything more about the numbers on the sponsorship or the tickets right now?
I think if you're wanting to present a budget, you can do that. And then we can decide. I want you to know that the budget includes everything, even the manpower. DSAN has been working hard on this. We need to have a budget for that. And
No,
also,
I agree, and I mean it's not just DSign that's working a lot on this. Like myself and Tyler have been working a lot also, and like that's one of the things here that like the majority of the sponsorships is money that's going to be going back to the team, and that's one of the things that incorporated in the profit sharing with the team from the sponsorships. This is really like the main component that looking at us getting compensated.
Yeah, my concern with that was sponsorships are hard to get, and they are not they're not easy to get at all, and they're not easy to get quickly. So that's why I want to make sure we weren't giving away all the ticket sales, and then if the sponsors aren't coming in at the numbers we want, then that was my concern.
No, and that's fair, and you know, the opportunity of having a framework that we can proceed on, and then like I've said and will continue to say, none of this is set in stone. I mean, we have a framework that we can, you know, operate in and, you know, make adjustments for, and you know, that's what the whole DAO governance framework is like. But you know, we can talk hypotheticals, and until we actually go down this path, you know, like because my beliefs are we'll have a lot more success amplifying the value proposition of this if we're overly generous on our partnered communities, because my belief is that that's going to open a lot of doors, because that's something that nobody else has done before, and the opportunity for us to really like bring people into this where they can, you know, help us build this as well, is I think the big opportunity, because I think that the more generous that we are with throughout this, like, you know, and we can put some actual numbers behind this, but I think the opportunity to really get the substantial momentum where it's not like the 5 or 10 of us here 4 weeks from now. I think that's the big opportunity, is to get, you know, invite a lot more people in and really create a solid DAO framework. I mean, all of us have participated in DAOs here in the near term, and we have a good idea of what's working or not working, and the opportunity to really create a solid DAO here, but most importantly, deliver a fabulous product. Our virtual summit, I think, is the opportunity, and the big challenge is 4 weeks. And you know, that's why that, like, looking at a solid solution like Hopin, you know, the opportunity to potentially do a less engaging experience, trying to keep the costs down, is a real opportunity. But then I think the big opportunity here is creating a fabulous event, because like the opportunity to potentially 10x this, all of these numbers for season 2 is another very real situation, because we deliver a solid experience here, even though that it may just be break even, like, and that's the thing. I want us to get paid. When I'm saying break even, I'm not talking about us not getting paid for doing this. But creating where we don't have like a big treasury. I would rather, and that's one of the things that I love about this 80-20 split on the sponsorships. Yeah, the sponsorships are hard, but if we get 1,000 or 5,000 ticket sales, it'll be a lot easier to bring in those sponsorships at the 11th hour if we have the ticket sales on the front side. And by being less generous, I think it'll be harder for us to get the partnered communities excited about what we're creating here. But we can let's put some actual numbers like what Amy was advocating there, as far as the operational budget, with some more details so that we can talk about, like, because I definitely don't want this to be a in the red dynamic. So what else did we have here on the agenda, Mrs. Yonks?
Most of it. So so Decent, I don't know if you had a chance to look over that. That's all stuff that we need to get on the website. And I don't know if you had any other thoughts on what was missing or whatever. Like I said, I cleaned up some of the website, and it's in there, but I don't know if I just didn't save it right or whatever. But we need to get some places to park speakers as they come in. We need to, if this all makes sense, here, go back to the top, Jason. So sponsor, finalize affiliate programs. Some of this is actually getting people to having a working purchase, so that somebody says, yeah, I'll do that. We need to have some kind of an agreement or something that they can buy the transfer on that.
Which one are you talking about?
Well, so are we doing the affiliate and the sponsors all through Unlock?
I think that we can. And when you say affiliate, can you please clarify what you mean here?
The conversation that we just had, what it was going to look like, and how people sign up as affiliates, and
well, let's call that partnered communities, because like when I'm talking about an affiliate.
Fine, I got it. We got to keep going. So the registration links, I know there's a registration button on there, but it doesn't work. So what do we need to get that to work? And also can we, through Unlock, also capture their email and everything that Hopin needs to transfer that over to them?
I was just waiting to kind of see what all the information we needed. So I'm going to start putting the forms together tonight. And, if this is all of the information that we need to gather from somebody.
Let me double check that before you do the form, but I just wanted to see if we can do this. And then as far as the speaker slots, I know that we had a section for partners and sponsors in the website, but for the speakers, do we have some Lego blocks that as stuff comes in, as speakers start confirming, so this isn't all on you, D-Sign, can you set up a template that has speakers so we can start plugging in the back end of that? Because that's my big push for this week, is to get speakers up and confirmed.
So let's actually talk, because I created on the biz dev, and like here's a speaker that we've got in the pipeline right now. So what are you actually advocating, like a speaker application form?
No, there's two different things. So let's say that Beverly decides that she wants to do it. We want her, she wants us, whatever. So I would like to say, hey, Beverly, email me this stuff, or is there a way to just for her to just directly upload that onto the website? I don't know what's easiest I don't know what's kind of the easiest way to say that. Once we have a speaker, this is the information that I'd like to have about them, their name, their pick, their bio. Actually, can you add their company or organization into the speaker slot? And then like bio, Twitter, LinkedIn. And so I wanted to start plugging those, like gather the information from the speaker and then have it some way that I can throw this into the website so I don't have to keep sending it to you, DSign. It's one more thing that I could take so that you don't have to do it. So I just need the back end of it.
What I would recommend is for us to create a speaker application that can dump in whatever data that we want. And like, this is something
I have that on the list already. It's down. I already did that.
Okay, but this is where I'm just trying to like get the stuff organized.
No, scroll up, stop. The speaker request or nomination form is there. If we want to just have them put their picture and all that right there, I mean, we can.
So like what I'm suggesting is that we create a speaker application form and then like have all of this stuff that we're wanting to collect just go into that speaker application form.
So DSign, can that kind of be automated into, can it be, once we have that, like if I applied and I said, okay, here's my pictures, my bio, whatever. So now it goes to a database somewhere. How do we actually get that onto the website?
As to getting it on the website, I think maybe there is an automated process, but I don't know of that yet. So my plan was that we would have to manually update the website.
And I would actually echo that, because I don't think that we want, because having a speaker, like when you're talking about the workflow as far as like a process diagram, like we don't want that to just be completely automated top to bottom, because like we want to make
I'm not talking about, I mean, there'd be a back end that says, okay, the speaker's approved, go. Or is it just, if it's not, can there be empty blocks on the back end so I can start filling stuff in? I'm just trying to figure out what I can do to not say, hey, DSign, can you do another thing, if I can just do it myself? That was a question.
Yeah, we can get that set up where like however that we're going to end up representing the speakers, where that can be more of a copy and paste into the website from like the Notion form or whatever we end up with for that represents the speaker's information.
All right, fine. So this is all right, go to the next thing. That speaker request is a form. Same thing with the partner slots and the
and I'm gonna rename this to speaker application, because that's what's more consistently used in the space. Is like, and this is something I just was showing ETH Denver here, and this is something where everybody could go through and see what the questions are. They use a type form for collecting the information, and I think that we could use something similar there, where it just, kicks the information into like our biz dev page on Notion is what I was thinking would be the easiest. And I think like, what was it, 20 ETH Austin, I didn't go through the process to see what they had, but they also had an apply to speak form that's also a type form. So the opportunity for us to just take something similar here, here's two examples, apply to speak at ETH Denver, and then one for, and this is Dystopia Labs that is has this type form. Go ahead, DSign.
We can also use the Notion forms to have all of their applications go directly into a database that we set up on our Notion.
Yeah, and if we could have it just go in like right now until we get a better place, like just using this BizDev database is where that I would prefer to go in. And then if we decide that we need to break it into another database element here, but I think the simpler that we can keep things where we can just use like one database for the BizDev, and I mean speakers, everything I think that relates to building out this virtual summit, I think could go under here. And if somebody wants to go in a different direction, I'd love to hear some thoughts on that.
Hey everyone, I got to drop, got to go to dog training. So have a good one. Sorry, I didn't really give much here, but I'm learning a lot.
No, well, have fun at the dog training there, Blurs.
All right, catch y'all later.
Yep, late. So what else here, Tyler?
The tokenomics paper and the tokenomics list at the bottom, go down. Those can probably just be copied and pasted into something that looks nice, just to have more links there if we want to make that public. And then the website's not optimized for mobile. I don't know if that's easy to do or how hard it is. Hello?
When you're saying not optimized for mobile, I'm looking here and it looks like it is to me.
Well, okay, so the DAO thing was wrapping around, and there were a couple other things. I don't know if that was just.
Well, that's just changing, like making an adjustment, but it's definitely optimized for mobile, because if it wasn't, it wouldn't look this clean on my iPhone.
So after I finish making the rest of the website, which we can do pretty quickly, I think today, I will just like put a call to action on our Discord, like, hey, I need some help fitting this to mobile, because the way that the WordPress plugin works, or Divi works, is that you can switch the view to a mobile view and customize how it appears on mobile devices. I think it's a little time consuming, but I think it'll be well worth it. So that's why I think I should delegate that to somebody else, is I can show them how to do, like 1 or 2 cards, because they have to do it for every element on the page.
Yeah, and one of the things on the website that I'm most interested in getting figured out is what we're going to use for the template. Like, and when I say the template, like on retoken.token summit here for our partnered communities, so that we can, incorporate a very simple landing page for the ticket sales specifically for that partnered community, but then also just have something that is very easy templatable, so that we can just change a few parameters and have somebody on the team just easily spin up a subdomain here of a site in the WordPress multi-site architecture. So is that something that you've spent any thoughts on, DSign?
I haven't spent too much time thinking about these landing pages for our partners and sponsors. I think right now I've considered that as a nice to have, because I think I know how to set up the functionality on Discord for all of the stuff that we want the landing pages to serve. And I know that limits our audience a little bit, because not everybody uses Discord, but at the same time, it's like something that I know how to do already and know how to set it up. And with WordPress, I think I know how to set it up, but I haven't actually been able to try it yet. I haven't had a chance to. So it's like something that I'm gonna have to try and figure out today.
Well, and I guess I'm when you're talking about the ticket acquisition process. I'm not really understanding what that would
Oh,
look like in
oh,
Discord.
I thought, yeah. For the ticket acquisition process, yeah, we'll do that through WordPress with the unlock protocol. Sorry, I thought you were saying like we were gonna set up a page and like a spot for every single partner that we have on our own website. Like everybody was gonna have their own page on the website right now.
Well, that's kind of what I've been envisioning, because otherwise I don't know how that we'll be able to execute like a unique unlock key.
Do we have something through unlock that says, I mean, are they set up for that of saying, unlock, if you buy the TSD1 token, that's this affiliate. If you buy TSD2 token, that's this affiliate. I mean, can we make a specific NFT for each community and then just see how many of them get sold? I mean,
well, so that's my understanding is that that's something that we're going to have to do is we're going to have to create an unlock key for each partnered community and for each ticket tier. So like, you know, that's one of the reasons that having more ticket tiers add more complexity, because each ticket tier with each partnered community is going to be its own unlock key.
Well, well, that's what I would recommend. Let's dump the top tier altogether, the most expensive tier. Let's just drop it. We're not doing any affiliates for the that tier. Let's just make that one go away. We're not doing affiliates for the bottom two tiers. We're only doing them for the top. And Amy, back to your concern about the 80%. One of the things that we're looking at is saying, if you want 80%, you need to provide some value back to us. If you're buying a $22 ticket, we're not giving you 80% of that. If you have somebody who is buying more, then it's fine. We're basically giving the community extra benefits for that. So we just need gold and silver for each partner community, and we don't know how many partner communities are going to sign up. If we have, you know, 2 or 3, that should be something we can knock out pretty quickly. If we have like 500 communities sign up, then decide you can just kind of do an all hands on deck, and we'll all figure out how to make them together, and we'll just all do it together, so you don't have to do it all.
So going back to the agenda, we've got 20 minutes left here for our time. What else did?
Well, so first of all, Design, what all do you need from us to?
Okay, so first I need to.
And Jason, can you write all this down?
This what we're looking at right now is good. This kind of like what we have on the agenda is kind of following what I need pretty closely. So when somebody registers for the event, I need to know that part is going to be handled through Unlock, right? So they're going to purchase the NFT, but we also need some information for Hopin. Is it just their email?
I think that we should look at what Hopin provides and have a better understanding as far as like, because we have the capability, from what I understand, the conversation with David. Is that right, Tyler?
Yeah, David.
Okay, so from the conversation, we've got 2 choices. We've got the opportunity of using Hopin's registration process, which obviously doesn't provide a token component. The second choice is that we can provide them like an email username dump where they import that, and then that provides, and that's a very high level understanding as far as there. And, you know, they have, again, APIs and other stuff. And like, I think that that's definitely something that we need to hear early, understand as far as what that workflow will look like, as far as making sure that everything is facilitated from an event registration standpoint. Because like one of the other opportunities that we are exploring is and will implement, and this is something that we've talked about in Retoken as well, but just haven't had it's not been a high enough priority, is MailChimp. So the ability for us to communicate via email with people over the next 4 weeks, having, you know, one additional channel, because there's a possibility that people will buy a ticket that may never join our Discord. So having the ability to communicate with people using email and then just have that be an important component of our overall content and marketing strategy. So incorporating MailChimp into this registration process so that we can communicate with email. And we've talked a little bit about like EPNS as far as Ethereum's push notification service. And I think like one of the other opportunities is to also potentially push the envelope with Hopin, as far as like, we know that the blockchain Web3 ecosystem is going to be growing. So the opportunity to potentially see if having some of this token or crypto wallet stuff integrated, whether that's on the roadmap or not. But anyway, the biggest thing is just getting that registration workflow. And if you want, D-Sign, we can have a separate like breakout conversation for that to kind of get that all nailed out, and anybody else that wants to participate.
I don't know how this works for our own tickets, but if we're ticketing through Hopin, they charge up to 7% plus processing fees, unless we're doing all crypto only. So that's the other thing, is that that was the reason why I like the whole idea of 22Matic as a more expensive ticket. And I like the credit card option. I know some people don't feel comfortable buying stuff with their crypto wallet, whatever, or they're just new to crypto, they're trying to check things out. I like the idea of having a credit card option, but that does get pretty expensive.
So I think for like ticketing prices, here's what we can do is we can collect the information. I don't want to use Hopin's registration if they're going to take like some money off the top. And, you know, I would expect them to take money off the top. I'm not saying they shouldn't do that, but we can do a form where we take in their email, whatever, like a Discord username, their crypto wallet, and then give them, after they submit those, you know, with type form, you can do one question at a time. So we can do those one questions at a time. And then on the last question, instead of it being a question, we can just put a link to the unlock NFT that they need to buy for the link that they selected on our website. So what I'm going to do is on our website, it's going to have a price list with all of the NFTs that they can buy and all of the benefits that each NFT grants them. And when they click on that, it'll take them to the appropriate form. And I don't know if we'll do that with the Notion forms or if we do that with type forms or Google forms, but we'll do it with a form. And then they'll have to answer all the questions. And then when they get to the last one, instead of it being an actual question, they'll get a link to the appropriate NFT that they need to buy. And then they can use Stripe to buy it with their credit card, or they can use crypto to buy it.
Hey, D-Sign, I love that idea. So do we have the option to charge them for the Stripe fees, or do we have to pay them?
I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head because I haven't set up Stripe through Unlock yet. But I mean, I guess worst case scenario, we could always just like add it to the total price of the Stripe purchase.
Sure.
So who has the action item to create the Stripe account for Token Summit DAO?
Hey, hold on, babe. Jay-Z said, I thought Stripe was free. I don't know if you meant Strike or Stripe with a P. Stripe is a credit card processor they charge around 3%, and or something like that, which is pretty standard with PayPal, and pretty much all of them charge around 3%. So yeah. Oh, Strike is a Bitcoin tipping app. Okay. Yeah. Sorry, Jay-Z, misunderstood you. Yes. I'm not familiar with Strike. We were talking about Stripe.
Hey, what is this Strike app? Oh, is that only Bitcoin though? I was gonna say, oh, okay. It would be cool if we had like a tipping system set up for speakers where they could post like a wallet address or something after their talk and say like,
yeah, no, that's a great idea. And I like, let's add that to a potential features list. Where would be a good place to capture that?
let's see on our Notion.
Well, we've got under the website idea, second from the bottom.
Yeah.
Is there an Ethereum tipping app? Just a question.
Yeah, we can find something that tips in other currencies. What just happened? Can anybody hear me?
We can hear you.
Yep.
Are Jason and Tyler still connected?
They got disconnected. Could be the internet problem.
Yeah, it might be an internet problem. Yeah,
Yeah,
they're not
both are.
there anymore.
Yeah.
I think once we got all the numbers together and ready to offer the sponsorship or affiliate, that would be the time that we would know how much interest. You know, we need to do a blast on the first week just to check and see what's the interest out there, so we can plan, the next week.
Oh, while you guys are here, I just did you guys touch on the parks today or no? Because I joined a little bit late, like about after 10 minutes, so I'm not sure.
No,
you guys,
we haven't.
discussed about. Okay.
But I think I saw a deadline to submit. It's January something. It's like.
Yeah. We passed the deadline for sure. But I was talking to the organizer there, and he said they're getting ready for the production, so they might be able to squeeze us in. But the guy says
that would be great.
Yeah. But he says we have to kind of let them know today, so that they have to create an alt for that, right? So they will they have a bunch of artists there. They will just put this thing out, and then have arts created, and then we can go ahead and pick one that we like, and then they will use that to create that POG. Yeah, that was thing they were talking about. Jason, are you good?
I think I killed our internet here momentarily.
Oh yeah.
What happened? Did somebody call your house phone?
If you're back, Jason.
Is my audio working?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, hold on. Okay, I'm back on my audio. Sorry about that, everybody.
Can you hear us though?
Yeah, I can now. My AirPods weren't connected. I kicked a cord under my computer that caused the internet to go offline here. Oops.
You got to zip tie those up, man.
Obviously, right?
Seems like a
yeah.
pretty big design flaw.
Well, this is a very ad hoc setup here. It's been functioning, and I feel a little better having the office chair now instead of just sitting at a kitchen table chair. So I feel like a little better. But the workspace is and I still need to get some, like, what are those little egg carton things that go on the wall for dampening the sound?
Yeah. I think they're just called sound dampeners.
Yeah, I need to get some of those because this room is a really bad echo chamber. So sorry about that, Tyler. I don't know if you heard me talking in the other room in here, but I think she's back now too, right?
I don't see her on the participant
Oh no,
list.
maybe. I think it's still, she's still joining. I saw her pop in on the waiting room. I thought she would have been in by now. But that would have been a good time to wrap it up. But I was just cleaning up I love these like toggle headers.
The toggle headers on the Notion.
On Notion, I've been using those quite a bit. It makes it easier for.
So I have an action item that I want to just put out there for anybody who wants to do it. Can you go to Notion on your screen?
Yeah, I'm on Notion right now. Is it sharing the screen?
On your screen, I see stripe.com.
Oh, maybe I just did one window instead of this whole screen.
Okay, cool. Can you make a new page called Token Summit registration forms or something like that?
Yeah. Do you want it? Where do you want the page? Is this
maybe under the
website ideas?
Yeah. So basically what I need somebody to do is make a table that has, we need a table for individual participants that are registering for the for the event. We need a table that has all of the fields we need for partners entering the event, and we need to have a table for all of the fields we need for sponsors. And then I can set up our WordPress to link to each one of those individually through the Notion Forms website.
Maybe we should do it on the as a page under BizDev.
Yeah, I think each one of those forms is going to need to have their own page.
Actually, that's not the one I wanted. I'm trying to think here as far, because I'm still learning Notion myself, because I would really like all of the whatever comes in, and I don't know if we could just use one form for all of that. Here's
no, I think we're gonna have to do 3 separate forms.
Okay. Can we get it to all drop in one page here?
Yeah, I think that's something we could do. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a new section on Token Summit DAO.
Welcome back, Tyler. Sorry, I killed our internet. Can't hear you. Well, at least it's good to know that it didn't kill the live stream, I think, anyway, because when I joined back in the Zoom, it still said live streaming. Are you back, Tyler?
Yeah.
I think everybody was out when Dax was mentioning about the pogs for for POAPathon. And he said that if we can make a decision that he can rush the order for East Denver for.
Amy, you're really breaking. Amy, we can't hear you.
I think it was actually on your end. I was actually able to hear pretty well myself.
So I don't know if we can make that decision. I think he did a link or a picture of it.
I'm still trying to understand how we would use like a physical POG for our virtual summit.
I think if you can put a link on our website that could, on that POG, included in that POG, then people can log in on our website and register.
I think given the length of East Denver, people are going to be really burned out. I think the East Denver audience is probably, I mean, this is going to be right after and during the retreat. So I don't think the East Denver audience is probably a good audience for us. It would be a great potential partner for East Denver next year if we end up doing the June conference to promote that. But I think people are just going to be really fried by the end of BUIDL week. And then if they're not, they're going to be in Breckenridge. And if they are, they're just going to be kind of done and going home.
So did you, going back to the form thing, D-Sign, are you going to take the details here from this meeting agenda for creation of the form?
So can you go to the Token Summit XYZ page